Go ahead. What can he do?
9 years old. He just graduated from university with an electrical engineering degree.
Why is there so many of these kids who graduate college at 9? They never do anything
Well,
great.
that's why I want to highlight it. We'll have to watch and see where these kids wind up. Every once in a while it happens. Described by the staff as simply extraordinary. Lawrence is on a course to finish his degree in December. He then plans to embark on a PhD program in electrical engineering while also studying for his medical degree.
Happy Larry. Fred graduated college at 2. Just to give you an idea.
No, this is the youngest kid.
I'll tell you something. You know, even Doogie Howser, who, remember, he graduated medical school at like 15.
Right. Or I think a little younger.
But he wasn't a great doctor. I mean, he was a doctor. He didn't invent anything fantastic.
Well, this kid actually does want to investigate how to prolong life.
Ah, okay. Now you're talking. If I had that kind of brain, I wouldn't be doing this Doogie job.
Are you sure?
Yes, I would be inventing things. Audible. And,
But they just say that, you know, they think the university he's at was the best place for him because it had a lot of free-form kind of education, and he could get in there and play like he was a kid. You know, all of the stuff he got to work with and use fascinated him, and it's helped him maximize his gifts as opposed to being, you know, just torturous. Oh, he's so smart, let's make him do this or that.
this kid's so great, let him host the Oscars.
I don't think he has time.
I mean, why not?
Busy. I mean, if you hear him talk, it was like, well, they skipped me, you know, in first grade. I finished that, and he would finish grades in about a week.
Wow.
It was just incredible.
You know, a lot of people say, Howard, what were you doing when you were 9? I was eating my buggers. I was pretty good at it. That's a big one. Look at my schnoz.
And maybe President Trump would like this girl to come to America. She's an 8-year-old Mexican girl, who has been bullied and labeled weird. And it turns out she has a higher IQ than Einstein.
Oh, my God. What is she doing?
She may have not reached double digits in age, but her IQ is in the triple digits.
Wow.
She measures 162 and has a couple points ahead of Einstein and Stephen Hawking.
I tell you, I envy that. I wish I had a 162 IQ. I would love to see the world through that prism. I mean, my goodness. Can you imagine being able to comprehend these kinds of things? 162.
Now,
where is she living? In Mexico?
62 and she's 162.
Where? Yeah, right. Where is she living? Mexico?
Mexico.
She's going to figure out how to get over that wall. I guarantee it. With a 162 IQ.
When she was 3, she was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. That's why people consider her weird.
Oh, I see.
And,
well, I wouldn't want to have a 162 IQ with the Asperger's. I just want to be.
You don't want it no matter what?
I want to be 162 without Asperger's.
I love Greta Thunberg's philosophy about all this. She likes being special. She says everybody's so the same. Asperger's makes me special.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe she's onto something. This girl with 162 IQ, you think I could hire her to fix my TV?
Get it running?
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I gotta find that person. That person who can fix it.
I don't know, but we should keep an eye on her to see what she does in the future. But
you know what she should do with her high IQ? She should figure out how, if let's say someone spends a lot of money on TV, audio, video, make it work so that you never have to worry about it.
Perez finished elementary school by 5, middle school by 6, and high school by 8.
Now, I would have loved to have, like, by the time I started jerking off, I would have loved to have been done with school.
So I'm sure she'll go on to higher education. And then in this roundup of genius prodigy kids, there's a girl named Nancy Bushell.
Bushell? How old?
She's, again, 9 years old.
Look at this.
And she loves Nirvana, and
IQ?
It's not about her IQ. She's a music genius.
What is this? 111?
1-1. What are you talking about? I mean, that's a 9-year-old playing perfectly.
Very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have possibly...
There's a slight problem with the sweating, because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat. Well, I didn't sweat at the time, and that was... Oh, actually, yes, I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline and Falklands War when I actually had. And I simply, it was almost impossible for me to sweat. Yeah.
So they produced a bunch of pictures of him sweating around that time. So also, he said he didn't know what any girl was doing over at Epstein's place. 122.
They saw many young girls coming and going at the time. There was video footage of Epstein accompanied by young girls. And you were there staying in his house, catching up with friends.
I mean, if you were, then I wasn't a party to any of this. I never saw them. I mean, what they were doing and why they were there, I had nothing to do with. So I'm afraid I can't make any comment on that. Because you say can't? I can't.
Or
can't. It's impossible that I was there. At the time I was astral projecting, much like
I was floating above my bed.
And I saw the sun. And by the way, let me mention, it's medically impossible for me to get hard. For anyone under 18, I have this rare condition. I can only get hard for adult women.
It's an evidence of gentlemen.
Gentlemen. Yeah. Hey, Jamie, what up? There he is. Hey, Jamie in Jersey.
Here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Howard, I just want to thank you. I had a brother, friend of mine, take his own life, Navy vet last couple days. Mom fell in the hospital, had a real bad week, and you've made me smile a couple times the last few days, and I really appreciate it, my man.
All right, Jamie. Thank you for saying that. I'm sorry you had such a shitty week.
You and me both, brother.
Prince Andrew had a worse week.
Yeah, he did. He did have a worse.
I thought they were adult dwarfs, these young elves.
What do I do?
What do I do?
Business they were tending to there.
I've never had a business of my own. How would I be able to recognize anybody?
I had nothing to do. I didn't know what they were doing.
Robin, you were saying?
Yes, Prince Andrew made the front pages after that interview, Howard, with comments ranging from worse than a train wreck to unforgivable. The front page headline in Sunday's Daily Mail read, "Not one single word of remorse." So, yeah, he didn't win over any hearts and minds with that interview.
Robin, I know you know Gary is that guy. Gary Delabate is on our phone and wants to talk about Tomahawk's Wild Things and the origin of it. Yes, Gary.
Hey, I'm Gary.
Right.
Hey, Howard.
Yes.
It was Jamie's crying for Van Halen in 1979 that was sampled by Paul Rose. Wild Thing.
Gary, you're clearing your throat.
To the music.
Yeah, I usually... Gary, I usually...